So now, shout out to Sunny V2. We can get into this reaction. How Post Malone humbled a jealous radio host. And from what it is that it looks like Charlemagne the God. So without further ado, let's get into this damn video, y'all. Let's do it.
Concession job.
Like, sorry. Hold on. Why is this here?
Post Malone was on track to become a megastar, and Charlemagne could clearly sense it.
Cause you don't realize you about to be a star.
No, I think I know that it's coming.
Charlemagne therefore spent almost an hour trying to corner and embarrass his guest.
What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
I don't know.
Although the whole situation completely backfired to Post Malone's benefit. It was August of 2015. Post Malone was yet to get his first tattoo, and had just 6 months prior released his major breakout song White Iverson. He'd done his first radio interview exactly 4 months beforehand, which went extremely well.
I put out White Iverson like 2 months ago. We just hit 2 million views like a couple days ago, which is crazy.
And to keep this momentum going, he'd agreed to appear on The Breakfast Club. The show is well known for being the most listened to hip-hop and R&B morning show in America, and features 3 hosts, one of which being Charlemagne the God, who to be fair is usually an excellent presenter. The Breakfast Club has hosted almost every rapper.
Charlemagne be trolling. Charlemagne be trolling, especially within the early days of the Breakfast Club. I am a avid listener of the Breakfast Club. There are certain things it is that I agree with them, and there's certain things it is I wholeheartedly disagree. Especially somebody it is who, well, I'm in school to be a journalist. So anytime it is that you have an artist or anybody it is that you're interviewing, you need to make sure that you're doing your research. What's up, John? How are you? You need to be making sure that you're doing your research on the person it is that's coming in, right? And there has been a lot of times to where even Nicki Minaj has called this out, to where not everybody goes ahead and like they have an album that's out, but they don't listen to the full album. And Nicki Minaj asked Angela Yee, I have my statements about with Angela Yee. Some things like I feel, happy birthday to you, John. I feel like Angela Yee just be sitting there, but she don't put in input. But the input is just like, oh, well, I've heard from my friend this, and this. And I'm like, girl, you don't really put your authentic opinions into things. And if you're doing research on anybody, if somebody asks you, what's your favorite song off of the album? You should at least be able to answer that. Charlemagne actually does this. Now, Charlemagne has been known for saying the most outlandish possible and has done the most outlandish possible on that show. You know, the way that DJ Envy did my boy Keith Lee, he need to be more worried about them scams than grilling Keith. I agree with that. Sometimes they get a little overboard when it comes down to the grilling and all the other shit. And ironically enough, I had a chance to meet DJ Envy when he was out here at Howard. But this is something it is that you need to be doing. Is you need to do your research when it comes down to people that's coming to your show. You know, that's just standard within journalism.
From Kanye West to Jay-Z, making it a massive opportunity for any up-and-coming artist, which in this case was Post Malone.
We are the Breakfast Club. Special guest in the building.
State your name, soldier.
Post Malone.
Post Malone.
The interview began extremely positively, with Post and Charlemagne bonding over their support for the same football team.
He is from Dallas, and he's a Dallas Cowboys fan.
My guy.
Yeah.
And I tried my hardest.
Yeah.
However, when Post revealed his dad also worked for the Cowboys, Charlemagne's rudeness
Okay, so that makes sense to why he's a Cowboy fan. Okay, cool. Okay.
began to show.
His dad actually used to work for the organization.
What was he, water boy?
He does. He still works for the
What did he do?
organization.
Wow,
He's like head of
Waterboy's
concessions.
crazy.
I said water boy. That's like kind of.
No, he in the
playing for,
office.
man?
He's in the
Head of
office.
concession.
He's in the office.
Laughing at his dad's respectable job is mad disrespectful.
Yes.
The shit that pissed me off more than anything was when they were basically laughing at Post's dad's concession job. Like, sorry his dad works a respectful job and ain't no drug dealer, would have walked out right then and there. Dear Charlemagne, head of concession for a professional sports teams is a high-level job. They aren't watching over a high school cafeteria.
That's correct.
Post Malone responded to Charlemagne's rudeness by kindly inviting him to a Cowboys game.
You know, we get free tickets. We get free chicken strips.
Free hot dogs.
It's good.
So he gets free tickets.
Yeah.
That's important. Good seats.
Yeah, sweets.
Sweets.
Come on, let's go.
To which Charlemagne responded by insulting Post Malone's look.
FYI, I think all white people with cornrows look stupid, but that has nothing to do with it.
No, that's
Nothing
cool.
to do with you. I just think in general.
With this then resulting in an awkward confrontation about the color of Posty's skin.
Are you afraid as a white rapper that you may be considered a culture vulture?
I don't think so. I'm not scared. I'm not scared because I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not. I'm just trying to, you know, I like what I like. And I don't think I'm biting off of a certain culture or copying a certain culture or trying to be part of a certain culture because, you know, I like what I like.
Charlemagne then tried to trick Post into saying the N-word.
Say my don't dance.
Hey.
Just pull it. Say it. Go ahead.
And do the rock away.
No, say what I just said.
I
Don't
can't.
dance.
Y'all trying to get me in trouble.
Before hitting him with another loaded question designed to damage Post Malone's image.
What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
What?
I don't know.
Is that a serious question?
A serious question is, what is the Black Lives Matter movement doing for Black people in general? But that's a whole nother story for another day. Now, as again, I am a journalist major and I've done film school. Stuff like this gets played to us in classes, online and also in person. And a lot of times it is our professors will tell us, like, what do you see wrong here? And may I add, I have professors like my mentor and also my advisor, Dr. Otis Thomas. That man has been in media for decades at this point, and he will let this. He's the main person it is that will play something like this and be like, "This is incorrect." You do not ever invite somebody to your show, ask them to come to the show, and you insult them. That is the number one thing it is you don't do. You need to do your research on the person it is that you're asking to be here. Whatever music it is that's coming, that's out, that's hot, or whatever that's being played and everything like that. Normally it is you play the music once it is that you're there onto the radio and whatnot, if people do not know of those things. But insulting them is crazy. This is what Cat Williams talked about with that damn Wanda woman on that radio show. Because originally, like I said before you go ahead and press record or start the show, the segment, you have to ask said person or their team what are some questions it is that you would like to, like, what are some questions it is you do not want to be asked. We will talk about this. You give a consensus to what it is that you're going to say before it is the segment starts. But the problem what Wanda did, because it was supposed to be talking about the Emmy it is that Cat Williams won and everything of that nature, but she went ahead and started to insult him. And it's like the worst thing it is you could ever fucking do is insult a comedian. So with stuff like this, I see this and I'm just like, yo, like, this is bad PR. This is bad PR. And Wanda got what it is that she deserved. I don't know why it is that you thought it was okay for you to go ahead and, especially Cat Williams out of all people, you know? I don't know why it is that you thought that insulting a comedian was the best thing in your case to do. But it's the same thing when it comes down to anybody else in this. Trying to troll a troll is a bad move, right? That's absolutely right. You cannot do that. But this is why in film school, I'll wrap this up and then we'll get back to the video. This is why in film school, we are trained, media trained, in order to not only prepare questions like how Charlemagne would do, but also be the person that's being interviewed. Because the way how it is that you handle a question, kind of like something it is that Charlemagne will ask, makes or break how people look at you. Because they'll take that segment out of what you just did and put that up on social media and stuff like that. And people tend to have think pieces on social media of videos before it is they actually get the chance to see the whole screening of what happened. You get what I'm saying? Like, the think pieces go rampant at Twitter at times. This is very important. So this is a learning lesson while it is that we were seeing this.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anything?
I guess what I can do to help Black Lives Matter is I to keep making music. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Got you.
I don't know.
I would have just said nothing.
What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement? That's the type of question you know that no matter how you answer this dude trying to hate you, however, the worst of the interview was still yet to come. Post Malone had brought his girlfriend Ashlyn onto the show, prompting Charlemagne to try and baselessly convince her that Post was going to leave her.
You got a girlfriend, don't you?
Yeah, she's right there.
What?
Ashlyn right here.
Yeah, she's right
Oh, hey, Ashlyn. You know he's gonna end up leaving you, right? The more
don't
famous
say
you
that.
get.
That's not true.
You know, you know the more successful you get, you're gonna,
Charlemagne then doubled down on this when his girlfriend got on the microphone.
You know he's gonna sleep with other women, though. You do know that. He's gonna sleep with other women.
No, I'm not.
It's gonna happen.
But
Ashley.
Charlemagne said not only is he going to get urban punani, it's going to be folk, country,
Yes.
pop,
Yes.
Urban AC.
Yes. A man is only as faithful as his
EDM.
options. You know that, right? You know that?
What?
A man is only as faithful as his options. I applaud you for trying to do the right thing,
Oh, I'm gonna keep doing
but it's
it.
not gonna finish that way.
Although this had actually become Post Malone's first real chance to show his overwhelming kindness.
Still in the honeymoon phase.
Listen. Here's something y'all don't get. I'm not a normal person. I'm
No,
a
you're not.
different type of man, and she's not a normal woman. She's an angel. She's an incredible person, and I don't think I'm ever gonna do nothing to ruin it.
Which ironically gave him more audience favor than if it were just a standard interview.
I'm glad-
My
I
respect for
like how
Post
he did
Malone
that.
went up after this. He stayed cool the whole time. The more I
Exactly.
see of Post, the more I like him. He seems like a good dude. This wasn't awkward at all. He responded very well.
This is what I mean as in PR. It relates to streaming as well. Because people will ask you questions within, I see this all the time. People will go ahead and ask the questions and in streams and stuff like that. Of like, oh, how come this, and this? What happened to this, and this? Where's this, and you know what I'm saying? Stuff like this happens organically. And this is why it is that this is so important when it comes down to whatever it is you do in life, you need to stay calm. There's going to be people that's going to try you, that's going to try to say something or sub at you or anything like that to get attention, to see if it is that they can do that. This is a learning experience. This is literally PR. This is literally a PR class as of right now. This is why this is so important. But Charlamagne got pressed by some people that rock with Little Kim for talking shit, and the nigga almost got jumped. He did. He got hit. He got hit. There's a couple times to where it is that people was not in favor of the people of the Breakfast Club, and I could see to why, because there's a level of unprofessionalism that can come from the show. Sometimes it is that they have great interviews or great shows, and then there's other times where it can go straight to hell. So it's, that nigga made Little Mama cry, and I think, yeah, that's another one to where it's like, dang, like that was harsh.
Posty handled that better than any of us would have, although not every comment was quite so positive. A small percentage of viewers hated on Ashlyn for barely saying anything, prompting Post
What was
Malone's
she
first
supposed to
response to the
say?
interview by tweeting, "I'm 20, I've done about 20 interviews in my life. Ashlyn's done about 1. If you're hating, get off our dicks. Doo-doo heads, bruh." Before Post Malone appeared on 106 KML to talk about Charlamagne himself.
This about Charlamagne. What's up, Charlamagne?
Oh, me?
Holla at me.
Ooh, say it to my face.
I'm just joking.
He's so stupid.
I mean, I get it. I mean, that's his job. I mean,
Right.
that's his job to be a troll on the radio and on the internet.
I will say
And-
you handled that very
No, that's what I
He
said.
handled it very well.
You can't get too excited. Just gotta relax. It's not that serious.
Post Malone expanded on this when talking to Ethan from the H3 podcast.
They kind of came at you in a really shitty way.
I think it's really easy to come at me. Just a guy that makes music, and not only that, but I feel like it's his job to be a troll. He should have said something. Like, if you're in that situation, it's a hell of a lot different.
Of
And
course.
Absolutely.
The internet's a funny place.
Yeah.
Yet Post Malone later explained in a Rolling Stone article that it might have been better to put the questions back onto Charlamagne. "I wish I'd said, 'What are you doing for Black Lives Matter?' Some sassy shit to shut him up. Like, maybe my music's not the best, but I know I'm not a bad person, so you're just being a hater." Charlamagne being a hater made the Breakfast Club look so bad, they'd wiped the episode from their official channel and website, while Posty's humility opened up unexpected opportunities. He began touring with Justin Bieber, had an extremely successful debut album launch, and gained over 1 million Instagram followers, prompting the Breakfast Club to invite him back for another interview, which Post Malone unbelievably accepted.
This is why damage control is very important. This is another thing that we've learned in both communication classes and with film school. Damage control of any situation. Like, there's always going to be something in this that happen. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to be beefing with somebody. You ain't going to have fallouts and stuff like that. How you damage control a situation is going to literally be the glue that just help you to move forward. Because when you fuck up and you fuck up bad, you are going to get talked about. And if you do not address those things or don't know how to address them, it's going to make things worse for you. Kind of like what happened with Mr. Bruce drop him off. And bad press and everything. Like I said, you need to know how to do PR your way through that to where it is you could clean up your act, and whatever it is that you are in question of, you acknowledge what is being said, and you change the behavior. Now, I could commend the Breakfast Club for saying, you know what, let's try to bring him back on here to do this again and to talk about other things, this, and this. This is all PR right here. That's how we act accordingly. Exactly. This is anytime it is like I've had people. Again, I'm mod for other people. I've seen people go ahead and ask other streamers of like, oh, what happened with this, and this. You know what I'm saying? Like to be nosy and stuff like that. I've seen as far as even the Reddit pages that try to do the same thing. But there's people that come into here and they'll ask certain type of questions. And how it is I respond to something says a lot about with my character versus what it is that's being said or being asked. And that is very important. They say bad publicity is still publicity, but it doesn't mean that you're going to turn out with a blessing. Right. And like I said, if you do not know how to damage control that, you're going to lose in that situation. That's very important.
The top comment read, I'm not sure why Post Malone would ever return to this radio show. However, he was set to win no matter what. Either the Breakfast Club treats him disrespectfully, Post Malone keeps his cool and sees growth just like the last interview, or the Breakfast Club treats him respectfully. Post Malone again easily keeps his cool and sees growth, with situation 2 seeming more likely, given the second interview began by acknowledging how poorly the previous one went.
Oh, he's back.
And he has a Bud Light with him today.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Post Malone.
Post Malone is back.
I wasn't here, and it got rough.
It
No,
didn't
that's-
though.
It didn't get rough.
People always tweet me like, yo, you were so hard on Post Malone. How? We had a conversation.
Well, you did say that he was gonna lose his girl, but
And she's here.
However, Charlemagne's jealousy had only gotten worse,
What's the
Couple weeks
hardest
ago.
thing? Is it like the stardom? Is it the money? Is it the fame?
resulting in him instantly trying to sabotage Post's relationship with Justin Bieber.
He got mad girls in the studio,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
mad drugs,
Oh,
mad
stop.
alcohol.
Just a little
You never
weed
been over
problem.
there?
Oh, in the studio?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I mean not really.
You never been in the studio with him with a bunch of
No,
girls?
yeah, I mean not really. This man eats salmon 3 times a day, and apparently that's very good for you.
Apparently.
Oh yeah, that's
What about all the
great.
drugs?
He doesn't do a lot of drugs.
He
He
smokes
doesn't do
weed.
any drugs.
He smokes
actually.
weed.
Yet Posty kept his cool and instead did the opposite.
Hey, you and Justin really developed quite a friendship, huh?
He's a good guy, you know. I
sweet.
love him, and I have so much respect for him.
This would later bring their friendship even closer, although in the meantime, Charlemagne was still trying to ruin Post Malone's relationship.
How did you hook up with Kalani? Because the one with Kalani's dope.
Beautiful
Like
young
the-
lady.
No, she's super dope.
Right.
She's super dope.
Beautiful
talented
young
too.
lady.
Super dope.
Isn't she
Stop it.
beautiful?
Asha, is she beautiful?
Yes.
She said yes.
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 Right, okay. So you're not allowed to even like acknowledge that girls are beautiful? No, he never said that. He said she was dope. He didn't say she was beautiful. So you have to ask Ashley like stuff like that?
Like,
Because I'm
in-
sure the
in
women have come
regards
at
to
you.
what?
Yeah.
Ashley was
There it
right
is
there.
again. Here it is
Really
again.
trying to-
Round 2.
I'm sure the women have come with you.
Which was ironic given Charlemagne constantly talks about this man's woman and trying to get her on camera, but he goes out of his way to make sure nobody knows what his wife looks like. Posty responded by again inviting Charlemagne to a free football match.
Can you get Charlemagne tickets?
Yeah, I mean, if you're nice.
I'm
to
going
me.
Sunday.
They gotta go with each other. Y'all gotta go with each other. Like sit
Let's
next to
go.
each other in the game.
No.
Oh, you
If
don't
you
like
could
me?
go- if you could-
No, I don't
Yeah.
dislike you, but I
Come
don't
with
like the
Tommy,
smell
you
of
can
beer
hang
and
with
cigarettes. And Post Malone smells like every beer and every cigarette that's in whatever convenience store in New York City right now. It's the new Kid Rock
That
right here,
is
ladies and
insane.
gentlemen.
With the Kid Rock comment leading to another booby-trapped question.
Did you vote for Trump?
I didn't vote.
Tell me more. Because
About
you're
what?
young and you got a voice, I would like to know your thoughts on the current system.
Do you feel like one of them was more fit than the other?
I feel like anytime it is that it's public things like this, I even will go as far as saying this on like a first date. Don't ever talk about politics. Even if it is of like, you obviously you didn't vote for Trump and everything like that, but it's just that's invasive as fuck. Fuck. That's so invasive. That's just not the setting for that. Post Malone's face is how it is that I feel after hearing that. Like you're skating through a reason to why it is you asked this man to come here in the first place. Post Malone has a very good heart. He said, I don't talk politics with people because you'll hate me. Like, I'm telling you, like, once it is that you start talking about politics, it's once it is you really start seeing people and their beliefs. And it's not a setting for this. This is just not the setting for that. You didn't come here for political reasons. If that was the case, that you would get, like, Hillary Clinton, which they've had brought before onto that. That's the perfect person to go ahead and talk about with politics and stuff because she's literally in politics and government. But Post Malone, no. It's just now you just start that. You're being a hater, Charlemagne. Damn.
They though.
I mean,
If you had-
I'm gonna talk about that with my friends.
What do you do when you experience racism? Like meaning that you're around some white people who may be being racist. How do you
I mean,
use
I
your
don't
power?
hang out with racists.
Charlemagne disrespected Post Malone over.
You tweeted once that I don't know. I don't follow you on Twitter.
And over.
Did you listen to it?
Absolutely not. I might though.
What do you mean, absolutely? You might like it. You might like it.
However, Post Malone had again managed to keep his cool, resulting in even more favor from the audience. Everyone is talking about how rude they were, but what stands out even more is Post's ability to not let them under his skin, or at least not show it. He's a great dude with
I don't even like Angela. Now I'm going back to this. I don't even like Angela Yee's response. Like, oh, I wasn't here, so I did hear it. It got a little rough. Angela, you represent the Breakfast Club, which means it is you do need to take a level of accountability for what it is you work for. Damn, this is what I mean is that Angela Yee doesn't necessarily say anything that will be like, okay, I respect that decision, you know?
a lot of compassion and love
Yeah.
for what he does and everything/everyone around for him. Mad respect for this dude and the way he conducts himself, while everyone only had the opposite to say about Charlemagne. Charlemagne hella disrespectful. He's the product of jealousy. To see a kid much younger than you living your dream, it's gotta be tough. Someone's feelings are hurt because the best they'll ever do is a morning radio show, and Post made dude feel stupid just by being his nice positive self, leading Charlemagne to then invite someone dressed like Post Malone onto the show just so he could mock him. It's therefore no surprise that when asked about Charlemagne a year after the Breakfast Club, Post Malone calmly told Rolling Stone, "He's not a good person, he hates me because I'm white and I'm different. But we're still rocking and we're still successful and he can't stop it." Although this would only reignite their beef, as Charlemagne responded, "I don't not like people because they're white. I just didn't like him because at the time I thought he was whack," adding that he loves Rockstar and encourages Malone to keep growing, keep winning, although only 10 days after this, Charlemagne was saying the opposite.
After reading this Rolling Stone interview, not only is his music not my cup of mayonnaise, but neither is his personality. Because you're not as talented as you think you are.
Charlemagne then went to the effort of convincing other podcasters that Post Malone sucked,
You don't like Post Malone. I think he's trash. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about that. Why? I think he's trash.
which clearly didn't work.
I don't even understand how you are this successful and this biased. I'm not biased. You think Post Malone is a dope artist? Yes. Why? And when I met him, he was a really good.
You know, it's a problem when Joe Budden gotta ask you that. You know, and Joe Budden has a personal bias on certain things. A lot of things. But like,
Good guy. And he had really great energy.
While even Jake Paul, who had his own beef with Post Malone, told Charlemagne his attacks were baseless.
We actually went back and forth on
Post is
Twitter.
trash, but go ahead.
I mean, he's number one.
Still trash. You can be number one and still be trash.
Numbers don't lie, bro.
He's trash, bro. Numbers do lie sometimes. Numbers don't tell a whole tale.
All right, well,
He doesn't like posts, as you can see.
Damn, Jake Paul actually taking a W, and so was Post Malone in his own lane of music. Beer Bongs and Bentleys, released just 4 months after the Jake Paul interview, peaked at #1 on every chart in every country, while Hollywood's Bleeding performed equally well, turning the Breakfast Club interviews into an insignificant chapter in Post Malone's come-up. Charlemagne, however, still hadn't moved on over 2 years later.
You gotta kick 2 people out right now. You trying to kick out the rap game because you real critical about rap.
Post Malone.
Although it finally showed that he'd been somewhat humbled,
Post Malone, definitely though, and for no other reason other than I'm probably hating.
which could also be felt during a Vlad TV interview.
I'm cool, clearly, with white people being in hip hop. Just respect why you're here. You're here because of these people that laid the foundation for you to even have the platform of hip hop to stand on.
One of Charlemagne's most respected
so Charlemagne, that comes off that comes off very incorrect, because now you're trying to say it is if anybody else that's not black gets into the rap game, then it's like, oh, they have to pay homage to all those other people and everything like that. Hell, there's people it is with our own skin color that does not pay homage to people, the OGs. What are we saying? Hell, we've had a whole conversation in the chat about the origin of hip hop as it is. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, some people didn't know where that came from, but that's not good, gang. Remember this that I tell y'all need to have somebody to pull your coat to tell you it is what you're doing is wrong. Somebody needs to have somebody go ahead and pull Charlemagne's jean jacket and tell him, don't say that. We have other ethnicities that pay homage better than we do, to be honest. That's the real tea. I will never understand how people who attack other people for no reason. If you're jealous, then that's fine. No need to act on it, but be better yourself so you feel good about yourself. Like people who like themselves don't need to talk wild to people. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no need for that. And there are dope rappers that are not black. There are amazing rappers. We can go on lists talking about that. So it just seems very dang. Charlemagne, as much as I like the donkey of the day, when are we gonna get a damn donkey a day for you? Because to be honest with you, to go ahead and to not do it once but twice, try to shit on this man, and then for years to come, there's more evidence of you talking illy of this man, bro. You deserve a hee haw. Damn, the fact that is I'm even saying that is crazy.
Respectful and entertaining traits is that he sticks to his guns and refuses to be a pushover, although in this case he probably should have made an exception.
Just don't be a dick, because like dicks get places, but then like at the end of the night, you're gonna not be able to fucking sleep.
And with that being said, you name some. I'm not gonna argue with you. Like I'm genuinely curious because I don't know who pays homage that aren't black. It's okay. It's okay. Man is bitter, and that's all you really chalk it up to. Exactly. But ironically enough, this was a very journalist lesson, if you will. This is a prime example of what it is that like that gets taught within my classes. So y'all got to see this firsthand. So W still teaching even when it is on not even trying to teach, but that was a valuable lesson. But hey, listen, shout outs to everybody in the chat and shout outs to you at home. I will catch y'all in the next video.